Hi, this is bmdmix, and this is my tutorials on mixing Afro pop music or Afro hip hop music. This is a song by T-Bax, and I'm gonna go through it quickly on how I mix my own track, and hopefully you'll learn one or two things in there. And if there's some things I'm mixing that I'm missing, you want to put me through also. Yeah, we're all learning. So this is a song called Time by T-Bax, and I hope you enjoy it. Once again, I'm bmdmix, and this is Time by T-Bax, straight from Nigeria. Enjoy.
You, your time, everything I time, my brother, take you, your time will come, just for you. Hey, you got me loaded, you rock like they no tomorrow. You got me today, we body like they no tomorrow. You got me loaded, yeah, you rock like they no tomorrow. You got me loaded, you rock like they no tomorrow. Yeah, see, we done the rock. All these bitches get us now, and done they come. Tell me they think say we no go blow. Now we done the blow. Now they want the love. Shisha, in back shit. In Bali Rom, Losanu, Morocco, and if
Yeah, so that's like hardcore straight up rap, just giving it its all. So I'm gonna start with the tracks here, and they're basically almost same, and just a little bit differences. And this is how I do my straight up mix. And since I don't have too much channel going on, every channel got its own plugin. I was having more than 5, 6, or I started grouping. But since the channels are not that much, there's really no need to be doing all that. So let's turn all the plugins off, and let's start with the very obvious, the pitch correct. I always start mixing with my pitch correct. A couple of times I tried putting it like the third or fourth channel or some bass, but it doesn't really fit in. So I always start off with my autotune or my pitch corrector wave or whatever plugin you'll be using. So this is, let's turn this out on this. So this is without autotune.
We done the rock. All these bitches hit us now, and done they come. Tell me they think say we no go blow.
And then this is
yeah. See, we done the rock. All these bitches hit us now, and done they come. Tell me they think say we no go blow. Now we done the blow. Now they want the love.
Okay, so that's for this. The autotune is pretty much basic. I got some thick vocal stuff going on there. Sometimes I deepen the vocal on some punch line, then I take it back again. I'll pull up a video on how I do that. So it's pretty nice, It's like you want vocal take, then you drag it, then once that vocal ends, you drag it back to where it was before. Yeah, it's automation. So this is my settings. It's mostly my settings for almost my rap, or down. They go in the T-Pain effect style, and then start return speed and all to see which balance is the most. So this is D major, and it's a low mid singer. So I follow that with an EQ. Yeah, so I'm doing some low end, high end cuts. I'm dropping 200. Yeah, I'm doing some creative EQ. Yeah, quite a lot of it. And
Shisha, in back in Bali Rom, Losanu, Morocco, and if I bad you more break and you're over bad you more break
Yeah, rap is supposed to be like a little bit darker, So I'm not going to be boasting anything yet to demonstrate to say if I still want it to be light in it or not. You don't have to be bright in all the time. It's still like a dark rap stuff. So yeah. So my first compressor is an Arrow Vox Mono. I use different type. Whatever is getting to my head, I just throw in there, just as far as doing the work. And I'm using the class, and I'm using this. I'm using class 7. I'm using resonance. Anyone, that feels like it's working. Like for this song, I'm using a mono. For whatever reason, it seems to balance both ears. But for some songs, if I use a mono, even though my recordings are always on mono, you can say it's single. Sometimes I use mono and it works. The idea is make the vocal stand in between your left and right ear. And sometimes when you use mono, it's more pronounced on the left hand side than on the right hand side, and it's that isn't balancing. It has to be that way. And if it's like that, you just switch your compressor to stereo. But for now, it's balanced on both ears, so I'm going with mono on this. Yeah, totally on this track. So I'm doing a hard stuff here. It's a rap, so I'm breaking the compressor into two. I'm using two. I don't want it to start clipping because I'm using one. So I'm using two. I want it in my face and loud and as possible, but not as loud to make my ears start aching, So that's first one. I'm using gate here to clear some noise still and doing much here.
And if
You can see the difference. Yeah, so it's that. It's a very simple, straightforward compressor, Gate, the more you increase it, the more your volume drops. That's because it's trying to clear background, so and then up and down.
And
that's for that. So next is ODS. Once that's done, you want to take out the S's and T's and all. So straight up, when you're using the Pro, the fab filter, the more you take it behind, the more you're taking out, and the more you push it, the more you're taking out also. So you want to try meet up in the middle, and you listen. You try to figure out a word that has a T's and S on it. Then there you start playing on it. These are the T's and S's being dropped. So the more you drop back, the more you're taking it out. So you don't want that happening. You want to leave a little bit to sound more natural. That's the reason why the S and T's are there. But too much of it is bad. None of it is good. You want in between. So yeah, that's that for there. Is just don't bother yourself about all these jargons here. Okay, this also really this is like your normal EQ and stuff, and this is the end of your EQ, and that's where the S and T's always come out from. That's all. And next, it's Echo Boy. This is a rap stuff. I want something happening behind the background. Like it's bringing out some, stuff. And this is what it sounds like with the Echo Boy. It's so, and this is yeah, so it's not all the time, but it depends on the song. Some songs you need something going on underneath, some you don't. So yeah. My next is SSL EQ. I like using it once in a while. I'm mostly always doing two things here. Add a little bit filtering, and I don't want any background noise. Don't want that. This is to activate this, and this is the brightness. Adding a little bit brightness, a little. And the mastering is where I get to know if I want to add more or just leave it that way. Yeah, I think I just said I wasn't going to add. Okay, yeah, I added. Yeah. This is another EQ. This is like the digital, and this is like the analog of it. If you don't really know what you're doing, don't go playing around. But you can just figure around. And if you don't like the sound, dial it back. Always remember where your keys are before you start making adjustments. Don't be scared. Just dive right into it. Let's see where we are. Okay. So what I'm doing, let's check it out here. With some
Owó fọlọ́wọ́, oṣù fọlọ́ṣì, ẹni òrówó ra mọ́tò, ọlábọ̀ yóò fọ́ṣì, owó wọlé mi.
You can see like it's a little bit back out of your face and
Òfin lé mi ṣe gbùgbé, àti ìyá àkókò padà, gbà mí ti wọlé.
and this is what the fitting is.
Bàlàyé, ìgbà ní gbogbo nǹkan, ìgbà ló ní gbàǹdù ẹ̀dá lámì mo rẹ̀ ọ́. Gbà mí ti dé o, gbà mí má kọjá mi o.
Yeah, you want to have add a little bit of that, so it sounds much nicer and less bassy, even though it's bassy, like a little bit transparent, bassy kind of stuff. Then your brightness higher.
Ẹni fẹ́ ló gbà mí mọ́ gbà, kílẹ̀ gbé gbà mí ti dé o, gbà mí má kọjá mi o, ẹni fẹ́ ló gbà mí.
Yeah, that's just too much.
Gbà mí mọ́ gbà, ẹni kílẹ̀ dì, kílẹ̀ gbé o.
And that's that for that, turn this in, turn this for the EQing, turn that off, turn this off, except you need the noise, you can flip it on it. Just add a little bit of distortion or noise or natural stuff on it. But I don't need that. I have a lot of vocal running around. So I'm going to follow this up with another compressor, and this I kind of use to smoothen and add a little bit. So sometimes when I'm breaking in, I would have another one going up here. So this kind of like, it's smoothing the edge. You either want to add more or reduce or stuff like that. Let's see how this goes before and after. And then yeah, so let's play all together and see. Am I EQing beat? No. Okay. So yeah, and that's for the inserts. The rest is like a copy paste stuff without the echo boy. Yeah, too much of it. Copy paste stuff and a little bit of saturation for the backup. Yeah, panning left for this, center for that. Yeah, so if you're doing the backup, all you do is just copy the plugins from the lead and just put on the backup and start making adjustments for the backup too. But remember to drop the backup down a little or more. It depends if it's a hook or not. And then for the send, I'm doing a Valhalla, my go-to plugin for reverb, and it sounds like this. Let's see if I'm turning it. It's on. Yeah, very subtle. It's just there, and it's doing its thing. It's a rap, so it won't have much space to actually shine, but it makes the vocal pops. And then I follow this with a flanger. Very much this. I'm either doing this or the normal flanger. Mostly I'm doing this meta flanger. This one.
Owó fọlọ́wọ́, oṣù fọlọ́ṣì, ẹni òrówó ra mọ́tò, ọlábọ̀ yóò fọ́ṣì, owó wọlé mi, òfin lé mi ṣe gbùgbé, àti ìyá àkókò padà, gbà mí ti wọlé.
Yeah, and that's that for my mixing tutorials on how I mix my track. So maybe next time I'll try something else. I don't know. Yeah, so enjoy, and let me leave you with a couple of seconds of the next chorus. Once again, this is bmdmix. Stay safe and take care. This is Time by T-Babs.
You look like